Relationship advice. Wife wants an involuntary open marriage. So, my wife and I have been together for about 12 years and married for over 11. We've had a very happy marriage, or so I thought, up until today. We have 2 houses in 2 different states. I work in one state and plan to move back to the other state in about a year, when my job is done here, which why we never sold our other house. She has been living here with me and we frequently make trips back to the other house, because most of her family is there and to do maintenance on the house. She is currently on a trip there, planned for 15 days, and has been spending time with friends and family. She's been texting me way more than she usually does on these trips, and sending me sexy stuff which is not her usual behavior. She has been saying that she's been talking about me a lot and it's been getting her excited, which is why she's been acting the way she has. During a text she mentioned that she's been snuggling with her people, and I jokingly asked who. I thought she was going to say her mom and her female friends. She is bisexual, and we have had a long-standing deal, that if she is going to hook up with a woman, she has to at least tell me about it, not even in detail. I knew what I was getting into in the marriage, and didn't want to restrict her sexuality. But, she said Jake, fake name. I immediately told her I was not comfortable with that, and we had had this discussion on other cases years ago before she went on trips to visit male friends, and this should not have been news to her. She acknowledged it, but dodged the conversation and said we'd talk about it later. Fast forward a few days, and I decided I'd try to engage her in some activities while she's home alone. We have a camera in the living room, that we used to check on our dogs when we're out of the house. I thought I'd text her, and tell her I was watching and see if I could get her to do some stuff in a role-play scenario. When I tried to pull up the camera, it was offline. This is not new, and I've had this problem before with my network, so I thought I'd check my other security cameras to see if it was a network issue and have my wife reset the network. When I checked the front door camera, I heard some explicit stuff being said. I thought maybe I misheard her/him and immediately called and explained what had happened. What I got was an immediate, "I can explain." So basically, after a bunch of back and forth and some regretful hang-ups, what it came down to is that she wants an open marriage. She said she was happier than she's been in a long time, and it doesn't have to do with the S. She's in love with this person and she wants to make it work with both of us. She was apparently going to pitch this to me after she got back in town, and after she potentially gave me an STD. I told her multiple times that I would talk more about it, but the major roadblocks I was having right now is 1, she did this before talking to me, and I'm not sure that is the truth, and 2, she refused to ask him to leave so we can have a conversation. So, the entire time we were talking on the phone, she was with him. This is also the same woman who has started crying unprovoked and said, "Promise you won't cheat on me," on multiple occasions. So apparently, she is too upset to be alone right now, and instead of going to any of her family or friends in the area, she is choosing to continue to spend the night in my/our house with him. She has turned her phone off because apparently, while she says I'm not being unreasonable, she has made up her mind, and either I have to be okay with this or there is no or. She says I am the most important thing to her, and she doesn't want to lose me, but she will not change her mind and wants me in her life. I told her she has made her choice and already started looking at filing for divorce. The worst part about all of this is that I love her. I have never met anyone like her, and would never in a million years thought she would do anything like this. Everything I have done since we've been together has been for her. I don't want to lose her, but I no longer think I can trust her. She has a long history of doing messed up things and apologizing for them later, and it's on me for letting her get away with it, but never anything like this. I'm honestly considering what she wants, but my brain's so overloaded right now I don't know if I'm thinking rationally, or I'm just afraid of losing her. I think I can honestly say I will never find anyone else who is/was better for me. Has anyone been in this situation? Has starting an open marriage worked/is an open marriage working for you? Did it start as cheating like this? Am I fooling myself that I can never trust her again, or that she was ever trustworthy at all? Honestly, I have no idea what to do. Edit, she's 35 and I'm 34. Edit 2, the responses on this post are saying what I knew they would, but was hoping they wouldn't. I'm going to give myself a few days to let this fester, but I think I know what I have to do now. Thank you all for your time and advice. Edit 3, I guess I mixed up the terminology. She doesn't want an open marriage, which implies just S. She wants to be polyamorous, which is being in love with multiple people. But also S, apparently. Now for the top advice. Something you said jumped out at me. She has a long history of doing messed up things. She cheated on you. Lied and cheated. You know she'll just keep doing more and more crazy things if you stay, and you know it's on you. And you know, despite her words, she doesn't respect you. Think about her behavior, while she was with another man and you were trying to discuss it. Run. Something that stood out to me, I don't think I can trust her anymore. If OP is saying that, he's hopeless. What she wants isn't an open relationship, that would be just sexual. What she wants is a polyamorous relationship. One in which she gets everything she wants, but doesn't have to give up anything. It will be a terrible idea and just leave you holding a lot of bags. That actually makes me think of something else. She's always had weird hang-ups about adult movies and we've always the non-verbal agreement to not talk about it. But lately she's brought up a couple times that she's totally over it, and I can watch adult movies, and maybe we can watch it together, which is a complete round turn for her. I'm starting to think she was trying to be more open to me so that she wouldn't feel as bad about what she was doing. Trying to give me a penny while taking $1. Also keep in mind that this dude knows you are upset and is still staying at your house with your wife. Neither he nor your wife have the slightest iota of respect for you. Supposedly he has offered to leave, but she asked him to stay because she doesn't want to be alone right now. She has an extensive amount of support there she can go to, but she chooses the one that hurts me. Did she know this man before you? Like, was there a basis of a relationship she already had? If not, she intentionally built a relationship. That to me would be the bigger issue. I am not in an open marriage, but my husband and I have discussed it, but both agree it's not for us. But, I do understand it and comprehend why people do it. It is possible that she truly loves both of you. But it's a lot for you to accept without it being discussed. He was a casual friend before. When I asked her how long it had been going on, she said 6 days. She said she fell in love with him in 6 days and that she had made the decision to change our lives entirely based on that. Now for the next story. My fiancé, 43 male, ended our 19-year relationship to pursue a relationship with his ex from 22 years ago. Before I begin, here is some background information on my ex and his friend as he calls her. They dated on and off for almost 4 years, 22 years ago. She said he cheated on her 3 times while they were together. She was never supportive of anything he wanted to do, and she was controlling. He said their life was very vanilla. D and I started dating in 2001, and our son was born a year later. In April of 2004, D asked me to marry him and I said yes. Then, 4 months later, D had a one-night stand with his ex, K, whom he had broken up with 6 years earlier. On the night of the incident, D came home emotionally distraught after being gone for hours, so I knew something was wrong. When I asked if he was with another woman, he lied and said no. His sister, who hates me, told me that he had cheated on me with K, so I went to K's work and asked her if she had seen or talked to him. K said she had just got divorced and hadn't talked to D. A few months later, D's sister ran into K while shopping, and K asked her to tell D that she was pregnant. That's when I began to really suspect he was lying to me. Long story short, it took me 3 years to learn the truth, but he finally came clean and he begged me for forgiveness. He said he did it because my ex-husband convinced him that I would cheat on him, and she was familiar to him. She said the baby wasn't his. She got pregnant from another one-night stand a few months after they hooked up. She messaged him in 2007 and told him that she still had a crush on him. She was now married to her second husband, whom she married in 2005. He ignored her. Interesting enough, her first husband said she was a messed up little number, and also said the S was plain and she was a control freak. Around Labor Day of this year, D told that he wanted us to take a break in our relationship. A few days later, he told our son that he was single and so was I. I then found out he's talking to K, and has been since August 19th. He messaged her on Twitter and she called him and told him that once again she was divorced. He said he wanted to know if her kid was his. She isn't his kid. He says he loves me and cares about and still has some love in his heart for me, but the heart wants what the heart wants. We live together and he works, and then he goes to her house until 11 p.m. every night. I have no car, no credit or job history to get a place of my own. I'm trying to get him to let me take over making the payments on our brand new mobile home, being he eventually wants to move out anyway. Kay has her own house. I personally think D is going through a midlife crisis, because he suddenly cares about his appearance. He's trying to buy a brand new car. He's talking to his family that he cut out of his life 5 years ago. He's worried about his finances suddenly. He's now eating food he hates and doing things he hates to impress her. He's buying expensive items. He's avoiding me, But he posted a picture of Kay and him of his FB, and told our son he was doing it to stir the pot. His FB status though is still single. My pictures are still on his FB. I'm still on his bank account and he just listed me as an emergency contact for his work along with her, according to him. He doesn't dress up when he doesn't see her. He said he isn't spending money on her. They watch movies together. I don't know what to think or what I should do. I'm focused on fixing my issues and getting my ADHD under control. I'm dressing up more and I got a second job. My psychiatrist said, he's acting like a woman when she leaves a man. He said, if he didn't love me, he wouldn't have stayed 19 years and just because he hangs out with her, doesn't mean anything. My psychiatrist thinks he may be doing this to see if I will actually change. Do you think he could be right? I do love him and I really do want my relationship to work. I honestly just think D is going through some issues right now, and I don't know how to help him snap out of it. Now for the top advice. Do not let this man keep making you the clown. You're worth more than this. He's made it pretty clear over the years that his ex is his first choice. If she wasn't, he would have cut her off ages ago. I know it sucks but let it go, and when things inevitably go south with his ex, don't let him come back. He did cut her off for 16 years. That's why I don't get why he decided after all these years of not talking to her he decided to contact her to see if her kid was his. That and why he waited until the kid was 15 years old. I need you to love yourself enough to walk away. This man has strung you along since 2001. Honey, please leave this man. You deserve to be cherished. You also need a new psychiatrist, yours is misguiding you. Accept that you're not going to understand. Now for the last story. My 25 male girlfriend, 27 female, of 3 years is way more into a new swinging lifestyle. And I don't know how to navigate either joining fully or moving on from the relationship. Need advice. So, my girlfriend of 3 years is friends with a couple who are big into the swinging community in our city. They convinced her, and then me, of joining and trying it out with them. I won't get into sexual details, but we met up with them and she had a great time with the guy, and I did not end up meshing with his wife. They are in a civil union of some sorts. Now my girlfriend is really into it and wants to continue exploring this type of experience with the couple and possibly branch out. I am really introverted and shy. Also, this is my first long-term relationship. It seems easy to know we need to break up. I guess I'm just worried because we both don't make a lot of money and we share living expenses, a car, our lease and a number of other things. What makes it harder is that, she actually isn't selfish at all in any other area of life. She's so attentive, caring and deeply empathetic. I don't think she's ever cheated on me and I'm worried swinging is her way of getting her needs met, since I am not the biggest in the male anatomy. But overall, before the past month we were great and had no concerns at all. She's still thrilled about this new thing and I've told her my reservations, and she just thinks it's because the guy's wife wasn't meant for me and was just a bad first example. Anyway, any advice would be welcomed. Now for the top advice. If you're expecting a monogamous relationship and she's expecting something more polyamorous, you're just incompatible. There's nothing wrong with either of you, but there's no compromise if that's what you two want. Yeah. That's a nice perspective. Thanks. Did you discuss any boundaries before deciding on trying the swinger life? Not really. That's part of the problem. I guess when I basically got rejected in our first meetup, it changed my already shaky agreement to this type of thing. If you want to end this lifestyle then you must say so. Usually in this kind of situation if one partner isn't comfortable and wants to close the relationship again, then they just have to say the word. I hope that your partner is willing to do that and you can trust that there won't be sneaky meetups behind your back. If you do feel that you want to continue but with boundaries, then you must discuss what boundaries you are setting and stick to them firmly. This relationship is one-sided. You said you were shy. Swinging is not for people like you. You will not randomly wake up one day, become super confident and connect with every girl you see. What will happen is your GF will have loads of fun and then come home to you. Over time this will destroy whatever self-esteem or confidence you've ever had. You will not be swingers, your GF will just be cheating on you. It's hard to move on when you're not the bravest, but if you don't respect yourself then no one will. If she isn't concerned about your experience, then she's not being a good partner, even if you were totally on board with swinging. If you do want to continue this relationship, I wouldn't, but you do you. You need to tell her that you have to find a way for you both to have fun while you are doing it. And that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you for coming this far. Leave a comment and hit like and subscribe if you like the content. I'll catch you in the next video. Good day everyone.